Hello, my name is Swiss Bianco. In this video I have bad news from Switzerland. Two people did pass away about 10 days ago. That incident is separately, so those two cases that I'm talking about did not happen together. First, my condolences to Switzerland, to all the relatives and friends that had losses. Those two cases did remember me on two occasions that I did nearly pass away in Switzerland. So I want to talk a bit about that. First, the two cases. The first case was by a Swiss military range, quite likely 300 meters for the rifle, for the Sturmgewehr military range. So the targets are on rails. Basically how that works is one target is up and the other is down, and then it automatically goes up and down again. Nowadays it's all electric, and it shows you on a little screen about 300 meters away where you actually are in the Schützenhaus, in the housing, in the house, shooting at those targets with the rifle, with the Sturmgewehr, how well you did hit the target. Back in the day, as I used those targets, they were not automatically. That was in the 1990s. Later on they became automatically. Anyway, now it's all electric, and one man, for whatever reason, got caught in the mechanism, in that up and down movement, and got clamped in, and did pass away, unfortunately. Such is not gonna happen too often, thank God, but apparently the complete system there is not that safe, that you cannot get caught in it and all that. So too bad. That was the dead person number one that did pass away, Swiss military related. The other one, a bit a younger person, did pass away in the Swiss military. Apparently assault rifle, a Sturmgewehr, was not secured or unloaded and secured well enough in a vehicle, in a transport vehicle, and it did go off apparently by itself. They still check, of course, on the exact circumstances what did it. Maybe by now more is out, but unfortunately it did hit a young man that was in military service, like I was back then, and many others of course too. And yeah, unfortunately that round did hit him, and he did pass away. Now I don't know exactly how it did work, how that did happen, but it's still tragic, of course. And I don't know how well the first aid kit and the first aid training is nowadays in the Swiss military. I can only say what I had back then was worth not much at all, equipment wise and training wise. Hopefully they did buckle up. So these two people did pass away. They still could have had many more years, hopefully in a good life. It's always the question over there in Europe, with the whole situation going downhill, how good of a life they could have had, but they never know, because now they are gone, unfortunately. That did remember me about two occasions that I got nearly the same fate over in Switzerland. First time was in about 1995. As I was by the Swiss military, I did train a group of Swiss military people, and it was basically a setup where you had a couple points, like 4 points, with 4 people like me that train in a specific field. Back then, I can say that I did train the people mainly about firearms and tactical use of the firearm. That was my field back then. To the day, I'm still interested in that field, and that was part of the reason why I did emigrate to USA, to have the best equipment possible, just like that, for my personal training. But anyway, 4 stations. 1 station was live shooting, like in the countryside. We did that in the field, as you would call it here in USA. So we had 4 groups, 4 positions, and say the first group did shoot this and that. Then the second group maybe had training using the gas mask, the ABC as we call it, the chemical protection. Number 3 was maybe me with training how to tactically move in the field using cover and aiming and all that. And number 4 was maybe even a stop with a rest, so that the people can rest a bit, drink a bit something, maybe even eat a bit of lunch or something. It was built up like this. Anyway, so that did move on, and the next group came to me, and we had that training. And of course, after you shoot the rifle needs to be unloaded, the magazine needs to be unloaded, and all ammunition needs to be removed, and the person that is responsible for that point need to check that by each soldier. You usually do that by lining them up and check the gun and the magazine, no problem at all. We never had much problems like that anyhow. But anyway, so that group came to me. We started training, advancing in the field. I did stand a bit in front, so to watch how well the cover is used, to give advice where people would be seen, where they need to improve with the cover, how they set up the rifle, and you know, all that kind of thing, slightly, steadily advancing towards my position. So we did that, and all in a sudden I saw by one soldier, as he racked the bolt of his Sturmgewehr, basically to simulate that he would load a cartridge from the magazine or reload, you know, something like that. He did rack a bit on the charging lever, and I saw on the side that there ammunition did fall out. He racked again, and the second ammunition did fall out and drop in the grass. He apparently did not see it, he did not get it at all, but I saw it, and the barrel was pretty much in the direction of me, because that was the goal of the training, that you advance in that direction there. Of course, as we look back, whoever did design that situation there, it's of course completely unsafe. We would never do that anymore. But anyway, that was back then in a different fashion. So we had to stop the whole situation, and I did walk to him, and sure enough, his magazine was full with ammunition, and we had 2 cartridges in the field next to him, and 1 was still in the chamber. That was back then with the Sturmgewehr 57, basically the SIG 510 variation that the Swiss military use. A horrible design, but technically completely overly complex, and but that is a different story. Anyway, of course we stopped the whole situation, and I needed a bit of a rest too, because there in case he would have put the safety off and pulled the trigger aiming at me, I would have been dead. No way around it. 7.5 by 55 GP11, basically a cartridge that is similar to a 308, maybe a little bit stronger. That would have, if that would have hit me, then I would not sit here on my first bonfire in 2024. So that was something to think about. Shooting or training with other people is never too safe and easy. I try to avoid that. I do the training with people, only with people that I know, where we can do the safety how I want to do the safety, completely as safe as possible, and not with multiple firearms pointing in all directions by rather unknown people, which we come to in the second case. So the second case, I was already in USA. I did go back to Switzerland to organize some more goods for resale in USA, and one of my best friends over in Switzerland, Martin Schober, who worked for the Swiss gun magazine, the Schweizer Waffenmagazin. Of course, we did meet and enjoy the time a bit there with the gun shows and going and shoot a bit. He was interested in testing firearms like I am. To the day I test a lot of firearms and related items to see how well they perform, how well they could benefit, be of benefit for my own situation here. Anyway, he said, hey, I have a group and we go and shoot on a Swiss military, ex-Swiss military range that was privatized. Actually, the whole location was inside a mountain. I'm not gonna name where that actually is or the name of that establishment, because it's not to blame them at all. It was a great establishment. Actually, the air was clean for enclosed shooting range and all that. It was from that standpoint, it was a really unique situation, and we had fun testing. One of the items was a shortened Sturmgewehr 57. One of the items was USAS 12 automatic shotgun. One of the items was a shortened custom K31 and some other stuff, and the people seemed pretty okay. One woman was there, and I don't blame the female sex either. It is how it is. By that case, it was a woman. So that woman was introduced by be in the military service, or at least she was in the military service. She did shoot with the rifle mainly, and apparently that was the first time that she did shoot with SIG 220. So basically the pistol, the military pistol that the Swiss military still use to the day, early version of the SIG 220 in 9mm with heel magazine release and so on. Anyway, single action, double action design. She did shoot that in single action mode. Did work out really well so far, as best as I saw. I did not watch her all the time. And then I was on the side of her, maybe 5 meters away, on the side of the room on the wall there, and then she had a malfunction. So for whatever reason, the pistol was fully loaded, ammunition in the chamber. She did pull the trigger, and the hammer did not want to go forward for whatever reason, and she of course did aim, did pull the trigger, it did not work. She pulled the trigger again, I saw that, pulled it a third time, and then she turned around, pointing the pistol right at me. Again, it was about 5 meters the most, I would say, apart from me as I stand there on the wall. The pistol had ammunition in the chamber ready to shoot. It's a single action trigger. The hammer was cocked, and the finger was still on the trigger. That was quite a horrible situation, and after that I did never ever go and shoot anymore in Switzerland. That did it for me. I had enough. Point is, I was in the process of getting the US green card. If that woman would have pulled the trigger, or for whatever reason the bullet would have hit me, I would have to go in the hospital. My body would have been damaged, my body would have been hurt. Even if I would have survived that case, she could have hit me in the head or in the heart or anywhere. And for that reason, with a damaged body, I would never have get the green card. Again, I would not sit here in freedom, in paradise, in USA as a free human. And that was something that gives you something to think for quite a while, and sometimes of course you forget a bit about it, and then later on, if you see or if you read about different cases, you remember again on that situation. I have no contact whatsoever with that woman or anybody else that did shoot that day and all that. But if you learn the basics in Switzerland about how to use the rifle, one point is always point it in a safe direction. The second point is put the finger away from the trigger. If she would have followed this with the pistol as well, I mean, it's that simple. If the thing doesn't work for whatever reason, you simply put it down on the table in front of you, or if you don't have a table in front of you, you simply put it down on the ground, with always pointing the barrel towards the target area. You simply shouldn't aim or hold the firearm towards somebody towards a human, or towards anything that you don't wanna shoot. Especially not with the finger on the trigger. We get a bit smoke here from the fire. So yeah, that were 2 occasions where I nearly lost my life, and from time to time I still think about it, how lucky I was that I could still make it in life and go ahead and emigrate, and to the day don't have a damaged body in that regards, that I would have trouble. That is something. And this as a last point, just as a warning, if you do that, or it not even has to be with firearms, it can be other things, other machinery, cars, airplanes, climbing a mountain, make sure that you are safe. Make sure that you are safe as possible. Watch the others, how they do, that they not gonna mess up, that you be the victim. That is an important point. So that much about this video.